Hello SAPU members and everybody at home. My name is Sebuku and I'm your host on Policing Talk by SAPU. Today, I'm being visited by the General Secretary of SAPU, Mr. Tumelo Mogodise, who will be explaining to us the role of trade unions in the country and the role of SAPU's Constitution in the management of SAPU affairs. We also have the Chief Negotiator of SAPU, Mr. Lesiba Tobakale, who will be explaining to us the roles, duties and qualities of being a shop steward. Mr. Lesiba Tobakale, welcome. Okay. We will be starting our discussion with the General Secretary of SAPU, Mr. Tumelo Mogodise. As I've said, he will be explaining to us the role of trade unions in the country and the role of Constitution of SAPU in management of trade union affairs.
Thank you, Katlego. First of all, let me start by explaining what is a union. A union in a working environment is workers coming together to make sure that the interests of the workers are being taken care of. But recently, we have seen that unionism is fading away because of members now. They are not in charge of the unions. Members are not attending meetings. Members are not giving mandates to their leaders. And this is a challenge because of a union. It's a worker control environment where the members have to meet and raise their issues to their elected leaders, and their elected leaders take mandates and go and negotiate or defend whatever workers' rights are being deprived or whatever the needs that the workers have been looking for. But members now, when shop stewards are calling for meetings, they are not attending meetings and they come to complain to say, what is our unions doing? Union belongs to the workers. Union belongs to the members. The members must attend the meetings to can give mandates. When we call rallies, when we call marches, the members are not attending. Who's supposed to advance your issues if you are not attending? And that is a unionism. So if you can start by defining what is a union and bring back unionism where it was when we started, where everyone was robust and militant, attending meetings, giving mandates. That's where we need to start these days. Members must stop complaining and members must come and attend meetings and take ownership of the union itself, because union does not belong to leaders and office bearers.
If you are saying that the members must take part or participate in the decision making of the trade unions, is SAPU practicing what you are saying, whereby members are taking part in decision making?
Yes, SAPU is doing that, but the challenge is when the shop stewards have calling meetings where they need to get mandates, members are not there to get input. You have your salary negotiations, you've got your promotions, you've got matters affecting our PSAP members, where we need to bring all these members. Let me make an example. We will need all PSAP members to come together so that we can win this war of translating them into Police Act. So if we are going to call a march, all members under PSAP Act will be expected to participate and go to the street and march. But now recently it's like the leaders have to march and members are there to ask questions. They are not there to support their leaders. They elect leaders, but they don't support them. You support leaders by attending meetings, by making sure that each and every month there's a meeting at your particular station or a working unit. Because of, in terms of procedural agreement in SAPS, you have to have a meetings monthly. Correctional services, you have to have your meetings. Traffic, you have to have your meetings, where you are being given feedback by your shop steward and you give them mandates in city.
So the shop steward, when they are giving the members the feedbacks in meetings, obviously they get it from the union itself, from their negotiators. Now, do you have any devices that you use or any methodology that you try to improve? I mean, in terms of the fourth industrial revolution, I mean, members can be communicated through social media, your Facebook and your Twitter. Is SAPU having such platforms?
We have those platforms available for the members to make it easy for those who are not able to attend the meetings to can get the feedback of what transpired in the meetings. But we must be very careful that fourth industrial revolution must not kill unionism, because of now members will be waiting to say, send me the feedback. They don't attend the meetings. Who's supposed to give mandates in the meetings. It's the very same members. So now, fourth industrial revolution, if you are not being very careful, it might kill unionism. So we must avoid that. We will wait for whatever feedback on Twitter, on Facebook, or on WhatsApp without attending meetings. Hence, we are talking to the Constitution. Constitution says the members must attend the meetings from the unit, from the station, give mandate. The station shop steward take the mandates to your regional council. Your regional council take your mandates to your REC. Your REC take the mandates to your PEC. Your PEC takes your mandates to your NEC. The NEC, if they cannot deal with any matters at that level, they will take whatever mandates now to the Congress. This is how the union is run, not over the phones, because of if now we are going to depend on phones and the feedback from the phones and we start complaining, we are killing our own organizations, the very same organizations that belongs to you, not to leaders.
What is the role of Constitution in the management of the affairs of the trade union, which is SAPU?
Constitution is very important to make sure that when, let me make example of leaders, that leaders they don't become traditional leaders. I must not become a general secretary for the rest of my life. This thing must be there on a constitution to say a term of office of a shop steward is 4 years. After 4 years, the members must come and elect and check, evaluate if Katlego you've carried the mandate that they've given you for the past 4 years. But if you don't have a constitution, people will take advantage and do as they wish. Constitution is the supreme law of any union or any society or a government. So we must make sure that we comply with our own constitution. If there are issues on a constitution, you must take them to a Congress and address them there and make sure that they are being amended. But it's important that we must adhere to our own rules, our own constitution, to make sure that there's accountability. Because if there's no accountability, funds of the members might be abused by those who are being elected to power. You know, power is dangerous because power can corrupt you, and absolute power can corrupt you absolutely. So constitution is there to make sure that we manage or we mitigate the risk of leaders taking advantage of the workers.
General Secretary, speaking on the amendment of the trade union's constitution, who is responsible for amending the constitution of the trade union?
Look, the members are responsible, but you cannot change constitution time and again. You might have resolutions that talks to the constitution that are in line. Resolution maybe to make things easier for you regarding the situation at that particular time. But you cannot every time you go and amend the constitution. Constitution is the supreme law. You just have to make some amendments, your resolution. Let me just make an example. Recently, we took a resolution to increase the threshold in terms of membership. You don't have to go to a constitution. You just go to the structures, they take a resolution that will talk to the constitution, not in contrary with the constitution. That is very important. To members, union belongs to you. You are a union. Union does not belong to your leaders. Don't elect us to destroy us. Because if you don't attend meetings, you are destroying us. You are the ones who are taking us. Than to support us by attending meetings and make sure that we advance your mandate and make sure that the employer complies with every regulation that are there in a working environment. We are happy with the development that we have seen in SAPU. SAPU, when it was formed, did not affiliate with any political party for a reason. Because of when a political party gives a mandate or appoint a senior manager, as a union, it's going to be difficult to challenge that particular employee to an employer because of you will be affiliated to a certain political party. The bond of SAFTU is clear indication, and we have vindicated since 1993 to say workers need to be independent from politics. As SAPU, we are happy now that unions are waking up, that unions have to be independent from politics and make sure that they advance the workers' interest, not the politics. But that does not mean we don't have interest of politics in our country. So as SAPU, we take pride that we did not make a mistake when we established this union to say we don't have to be affiliated with any political party. We strictly have to remain within the politics of the workers. Finish and clear.
Thank you, General Secretary. After the break, we will be speaking to Mr. Lesiba Tobakale, SAPU's Chief Negotiator, on the role of shop steward.
We are shocked and embarrassed that lately senior managers have been arrested for fraud and corruption. It's embarrassing, and we want to call upon National Commissioner to deal with these serious allegations expeditiously without fear or favor. Corruption is corruption. It doesn't matter whether you are a constable or a general. We don't have to have such allegations labeled against us as members of SAPS. We strongly condemn corruption. Corruption is a sickness in our society. These members who are corrupting our members, they need to be dealt with accordingly, so that they must stop corrupting the police. And the police that are corrupt, they don't belong here. They are demoralizing those who are working with integrity, because of now the society will say all the police are corrupt. So we call upon General Setole that please make sure that corruption that are labeled against senior manager or constable, whatever your rank, it doesn't matter, is being dealt with expeditiously so, and these members appear before a disciplinary hearing and remove the cloud hanging on top of their head.
Welcome back to Policing Talk by SAPU. Earlier on, we had a conversation with the General Secretary where we spoke about the role of the SAPU Constitution. And now we've got Mr. Lesiba Tobakale, who will be talking about the role of a shop steward within the workplace.
A shop steward is a representative who is there to ensure that the agenda of workers, all issues that relates to workers on behalf of the union, that needs the intervention of the union, are being dealt with at the shop floor or at the station or at the workplace level. That is who a shop steward is. A shop steward further stands to be the mouthpiece of these workers within those workplaces in order to ensure that any issues that relates to these workers, it is taken, by force in order to be dealt with and for it to be resolved. And as well, a shop steward plays that role to ensure that there is communication that comes from the union. It can flow down to the workers within those workplaces. So a shop steward plays a very critical role on behalf of the union.
Is there any qualifications or academic background that one must have to qualify as a shop steward?
Currently, there is none, but it is very important to state that workers at their workplaces, they need to ensure that when they elect shop steward, they elect somebody who has the best interests of the members at heart. Not just somebody who in a meeting will just be pushing their own agendas because they've got a specific grievance that they need to resolve. Now they talk too much over that. Now the members think that this person can be a good shop steward for them. And you'll find that after that issue has been resolved, this person has no interest. They were only driving their own agenda. A shop steward has to be somebody who has the best interests of the workers at heart. The blood of unionism has to flow within the system of a shop steward. A shop steward has to be somebody who is able to communicate, because communication, it becomes key, because this person stands between the union and the employer, also taking mandate from employees. Because how does a shop steward take issues to management if not mandated by employees. So employees mandate a shop steward carries that mandate on behalf of the workers with the cap of the union, taking them now to management in order to resolve them.
You have just mentioned the issue of members electing somebody because he or she will be talking too much in a meeting. Can you clarify on that, maybe through giving us an example?
Let me make an example. Maybe we are in a union meeting at a station. There is a member who has a grievance over a promotion dispute. Then this person, that matter is not resolved. This person is aggrieved. Obviously, because everybody raises their issues, that person within such a meeting, they are eligible to raise such an issue. But when they raise it, they are raising it, but their purpose is not because they are eligible to be a shop steward, but it's because they want to see that specific grievance being resolved. But they are not coming outright to say, no, my issue is this one, I just want it to be resolved. And then they portray themselves as if they are carrying the best interests of the workers, but they're only focusing on their specific issue. And that on its own, if such a person gets elected as a shop steward, they are eligible to kill the union. They are eligible to sabotage the mandate of those employees at that workplace, not for it to be carried forward. Because after their issues resolved, they don't care anymore. But yet they are chosen, they've been elected in terms of the constitution within that workplace. So that on its own has caused a division, or it has caused, a distance between the union itself and its workers within such work environments.
Thank you very much. You have mentioned communications as one of the most important skills of being a shop steward. Then what are the other qualities that one must have to be able to be a good shop steward?
The qualities of being a shop steward is somebody who can communicate clearly, somebody who can comprehend when members are giving a mandate, somebody who can be able to understand what are the issues, and somebody who is also able to understand what are the procedures that are there within that workplaces. An example, we can also use the issues of grievance or of agreements. A shop steward has to know what are agreements within that workplace. A shop steward has to know what are the national instructions that relates to the issues that members might have. So that has to be somebody who is also willing to learn, somebody who can learn and ensure that they improve from time and again in order for them to be capacitated so that when they represent those employees, they can represent them in accordance.
Mr. Tobakale, there can be incidences where members elect somebody to be their shop steward, only to find out later, as you have just mentioned, that this is not the candidate that they were looking for due to lack of service delivery that this person is delivering in the workplace.
Let us remember that the election of shop steward is governed by a procedural agreement of 2015. And within that procedural agreement, it stipulates even further the issues of meetings, where meetings must be held within those workplaces. And the person who's responsible to ensure that those meetings are held and members are able to raise their issues and to give a mandate to the shop steward is the very same shop steward who's elected at that workplace. And if it happens that that specific shop steward is not executing his or her own responsibilities, those employees, they have a remedy to recall that shop steward and elect somebody else whom they believe will be able to arrange meetings, will be able to carry the mandate of employees, will be able to represent these employees when a need arises with management. So employees, they've got a remedy. They must not be stuck with shop stewards who are not doing what they are supposed to be doing, because those shop stewards, they are elected by them. Employees themselves, they own the union. So they need to take ownership of the union and ensure that they've got people who are eligible to represent them in accordance at that shop steward level.
We are living in a country with a high crime rate. Police are being killed left, right, and center. Police are being undermined by members of the public. then this makes policing to be an environment where there's too much stress. How is SAPU taking this?
You know, our police officials, they themselves, they're in the front line day by day. As we speak now, a police official is attending a serious crime outside there as we speak. Be it rape, be it murder, be it cash in transit. And those scenes themselves, they have a potential to traumatize our employees. And in SAPS, there is employee health and wellness. But we know that employee health wellness, it is unable to fulfill its role in terms of ensuring that the wellness of these employees is in order. And the cause of that, it is simply because those professionals, when they are brought in within the SAPS, they are brought in and they are given ranks. And then the ranks that they are given lower ranks, whereby those who are high ranking, then they have got that level of authority against them to an extent where they even demand them to disclose the patient, to the professional information that is supposed to be kept as confidential. So that on its own has marginalized the role of the employee health and wellness. And as such, you find that our members, they themselves, they are unable to get assistance. And even SAPS itself, it is unable to maintain or even attract these professionals, be it psychologists, psychiatrists, be it social workers, including those who come from spiritual services. So as SAPU, what we are saying, what can come as a solution is to have a wing of these professionals. Not to give them ranks, but allow them to practice as professionals within the SAPS and give this wellness role to our employees who are traumatized day and night with all these forms of crime scenes that they are attending day by day.
Since the police are operating in a stressful environment, do we have professionals who can come and assist, more especially when the police are traumatized because of the scenes that they see on a daily basis?
That is true, because none of them are given ranks above the level of captain. And then you've got brigadiers, after you've got colonels, you've got brigadiers, you've got generals. We don't have those professionals who are executing the wellness programs or the wellness part of service to our members who are given higher ranks. That is the reality. But our issue is not upon them being given higher ranks. We don't want them to be given ranks. Let them be there and execute their wellness part, and let's leave the professionals to be professionals. Let the professionals play their role of professionalism and give these services to our members. Have a specific stream for them as employees who are under SAPS, so that they cannot be influenced, so that they cannot be undermined by any high-ranking officer, and be able to execute their necessary role in accordance.
Do you have enough professionals in policing, or is the category of policing at the professional level in South Africa?
To answer you, let me start here. We've got a lot of professionals in SAPS. We've got a lot of employees who themselves, they are qualified in different fraternities. But it's a pity that even that on its own, they are not getting recognition in terms of their qualifications, in terms of the level that they are qualified to or at. And that on its own, it has brought, these members to be demoralized, because they are unable, to see themselves growing. Even when promotions come, the level of qualifications, it is not being taken into consideration, because SAPS itself, it is not professionalized to a level of recognizing all professionals who are the employees of SAPS. So we need to start to fully professionalize SAPS. By doing that, take into consideration the qualifications that the employees of SAPS have. And by so doing, then you will ensure that even compensation, even promotion itself through a promotion policy, then that can be realized.
SAPU members and everybody at home, you have had a wonderful presentation by the General Secretary of SAPU, Mr. Tumelo Mogodiseng, on the role of unions in the workplace and the role of the Constitution in management of the affairs of the trade union. In addition to that, we have also heard from the Chief Negotiator of SAPU on the qualities, duties and responsibilities that a shop steward must perform. From me, Katlego Sebuku, your host on Policing Talk by SAPU. Till we meet again. Good evening.
We all have skills. We must show our confidence. Women are being taken seriously and show our political view that we are women who are going to lead this. Women are not talking. So if you speak out, SAPU cares. SAPU cares about women. We are being pressed by gender.